to another episode of the Don't Argue with the Facts podcast. I'm your host, Noah Love, and we're just going to get straight into it. This is an emergency episode, the only episode coming out today because we have two organizations in the NFC East that are dumb. That's just as best as I can put it. They're dumb. Micah Parsons, about 25 minutes ago, just requested a trade out of the Dallas Cowboys. I'll say yesterday evening, Terry McLaurin requested a trade from the Washington Commanders. So we're going to talk about those two things and those two things only today. Let's start with Michael Parsons. So let's go through the sequence of events. Diana Rossini came out with a tweet this morning about Michael Parsons and his deal with the let me try to find it here with the Washington. He says, among the key issues, Michael Parsons spoke directly with Jerry Jones over multiple days in the spring. The team believed those conversations were negotiations and that it had a deal, multiple league sources said. But Parsons believed the talks were just conversations and wanted his agent to handle the negotiations. When his agent attempted to start negotiations, the Cowboys declined to engage with him and told the pass rusher that they believed they already had a deal. Now, the team is refusing to engage with Parsons' agent at all, creating a tense standoff amid increasing friction. So they thought they had a deal before talking to the agent? What? And just for context, Jerry Jones does not talk to agents. Steven does. So Steven's the middleman. So basically, what happens is, okay, the agent, hey, we want to go and negotiate a new contract for my client, which in this case is Michael Parsons. Oh, don't talk to Jerry. You're talking to me, and then we'll work out some terms, and then Jerry can sign off on it. So Steven, they'll him and the agent will talk about it, and then he'll take the contract to Jerry and Jerry can be like, "Oh no." Jerry will either be like, "Oh, that's good. Let's get him here, sign it," or "Nope, he's less the language in the contract years, whatever." It whatever. If Jerry does not like the contract, he sends it back, and that's why these contracts take so long. Now 34 minutes ago, Michael Parsons tweeted out, "Thank you, Dallas." And this is kind of long, so bear with me. So bear with me here. He says, "Yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything that I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again. The team my pops and I grew up cheering for way up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed door negotiations without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. I have purposely stayed quiet in hopes of getting something done. But since there is confusion out there, let me clear some things up. I had my agent reach out to the Cowboys last offseason after my third year in hopes of getting a deal done early. Unfortunately, the team did not want to start any negotiations at that point. I was okay with that, didn't complain, and focused on the 2024 season. After the season, I told my agent once again to let the team know we were open to negotiate when they met at the combine. My agent informed me I should wait for other deals to get done because the price will only go up, but I didn't care and wanted to secure myself as a Cowboy long term. This was before any of the other pass rushers deals got done this offseason. I knew I would be leaving money on the table, but again, I was okay with that. Again, radio silent as far as my extension. In March, I met with Mr. Jones to talk about leadership. Somehow the conversation turned into him talking contract with me. Yes, I engaged in a back and forth in regards to what I wanted for my contract, but at no point did I believe this was supposed to be a formal negotiation, and I informed Mr. Jones afterward my agent would reach out thinking this would get things done. But when my agent reached out and spoke to Adam, he was told the deal was pretty much already done. My agent, of course, told him that wasn't the case and also reached out to Stephen Jones again. The team would decide to go silent. At that point, we decided we would allow the team to reach out to us whenever they decided they wanted to talk. Yet, still not a call, email, or text to my agent about starting a negotiation. Up to today, the team has not had a up to today the team has not had a hold on, I almost lost my point of view. Hold on, almost lost where I was at. Want to believe it? Nope. Again, the team decided to go silent. At that point, we decided we would allow the team to reach out to us whenever they decided they wanted to talk. Yet, still not a call, email, or text to my agent about starting a negotiation. Up to today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Now, one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. Still, I stay quiet, but again, after repeated shots at myself and all the narratives, I have made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. Yeah, he literally didn't care about the years and the dollars. He just wanted to be he just wanted to be a cowboy. This is crazy. Jerry, Steven, we saw Jerry's comments. That's in I'm not going over that again. That's in a podcast. I'll link it. Those in podcast I did last week. I'll link it at the end of the video. But for Jerry Jones to think that you had a formal or Jerry or Steven, whichever one, for them to think, for both of them to think that they had a deal done without talking to the agent. What? What? This is blasphemy. Okay, so now we're hearing from Diana Rossini that the Dallas Cowboys have no intention of trading Michael Parsons per sources. Still, teams around the league are planning to reach out to check on his availability today. Also, Diana Rossini put this out earlier. The Michael Parsons Cowboys relationship has deteriorated to the point where the star pass rusher is considering drastic measures, which could include a trade request. That just happened. Or even a declaration that he is severing his relationship with the team, per multiple league sources familiar with the situation. The two sides remain far apart heading into the second week of training camp and are not currently negotiating, obviously. You have CD Lamb. He posted on his story, shaking my head. You also have other Cowboys defensive players posting changing their profile picture on Twitter to a picture with them and Micah Parsons in it. CD Lamb says, never fails, dog. Just pay the man what you owe him. No need for the extracurricular. See, seems like Cowboys fans are fed up with Jerry Jones. It seems like they're fed up with Jerry Jones, and rightfully so. I'm not even a fan of the Cowboys. I'm not even a fan of the Cowboys. Sometimes hating on the Cowboys is fun, but honestly, I feel bad for Cowboys fans because this is and some of the players because this is ridiculous. What they he did now he wasn't to this extent with Dak. The issue was they just weren't paying him, but it was never a matter of the comments and him making comments, uh, kind of putting him on blast and stuff like that. Then you have CD. CD obviously was holding out, but they paid CD. All of a sudden, you get to Micah, who was not going to sit out, who went to him after year 3 and said, yo, can we get a deal done? No? Okay. We can wait till next off season before my 5th-year option. He goes to them. His agent tells him to wait. He says, I don't want to wait. I don't care about the years and dollars. I just want to be a Cowboy. And Jerry and Steven basically flipped him off. That's basically what they did. They flipped him off. They basically gave him the middle finger. That's what happened here. That's what happened here. I don't understand why it's so simple. Just pay him. I don't think he's asking for anything crazy. I would like to know what him and his agent is actually asking for. His value, I said, we talked about it last week. I said it'd be around maybe 40 to 45 million now because you're trying to pay him now. Whereas if you had done it earlier, it would have been around 34, 37, somewhere around there. Somewhere around there because I think Max Crosby, he got his deal done early. I don't know who's worse. The Bengals, the Commanders, we'll get to that because we'll get to that. I think the Commanders can get something done. But I think they can get something done. But I'm trying to see who's worse. The Cowboys or the Bengals. I don't know who's worse. Genuinely, Hendrickson can't get a deal done. But most football people know or think that Micah Parsons is better than Hendrickson. No disrespect to Hendrickson, he led the league in sacks last season. But we all know how big time Micah is. Micah, if they were in communication with his agent and all that, he was practicing. Micah wasn't holding out. What? We're Lord Jesus. I'm gonna try to cool it down because this just it frustrates me because front offices and owners that are GMs, they do this all the time. Like, what was the point of Jerry taking a shot at him for being injured while he's putting it on the line for you and try to help you win, try to help you get to the playoffs, try to help you win another Super Bowl that you haven't even been to since the 90s, haven't even sniffed. But you're going to take a shot at him. You also take a shot at your quarterback for no reason. And then Steven said something about the pay Mike a chance. I'd have to go back and see that. I didn't see it. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't see it. So I'll hold my tongue on that because I did not see what he said. But from for Jerry to come out and make all these weird, stupid analogies, and I'm like, look, they do this every offseason, they're gonna get something done. I don't know if they are. Now, last season, and I'm gonna shift this to the show Get Up because I love it. They were watching it. Greeny was talking about should the Cowboys consider trading Micah Parsons, which at that time I was like, no, no way. But I understood what his point was. His point was your roster is going, your salary is going to be given to a majority of three guys. It's going to be given to three guys basically. It's going to be given to Dak. It's going to be given to Micah. It's going to be given to CD. He was basically saying, why don't you trade Micah? Because you're going to be bad anyway. Why don't you trade Micah? Get some picks and some future assets back so you can rebuild the team. Which he was making it like a Herschel Walker package, basically, because the Cowboys traded him to the Vikings, and obviously they got a whole bunch of assets, ended up winning Super Bowl and all that. So I understand what Green was saying there, but now I feel like that's a possibility. And honestly, if you're a Cowboys fan, now that Micah doesn't want to be there, now obviously we've seen teams request a trade. We've seen players request a trade, and then the deal gets done. But if that doesn't happen here, you should look at a team and say who has the best assets. Now, a lot of Eagles fans are like, "Welcome to Philly." Jerry, I I don't believe Jerry is that stupid in my opinion to trade Micah to the Eagles. I don't think Eagles defense will be unstoppable. I don't I don't think he would do that. I'm trying. There are a couple teams like Bengals, but Mike Brown ain't. Yeah, he ain't. He's already cheap. He's not doing that. The I'm kind of I'm I'm more of not stunned. I'm upset that it even got to this point because Jerry does this every year, but now it's costing you. And now it seems like the players are fed up. And now you have a rookie head coach who has to deal with all of this. It's his first time. He has to deal with players upset. Micah's requesting a trade. All this other stuff that he really has no control over. And Schottenheimer seems like a fiery guy. He wants to get into when you're not doing right, he gets into people's butt, all that stuff. He seems like a very passionate coach, and he may be a good coach, but he's not gonna be given the opportunity. I'm just gonna keep it real. If they have a bad year, if they go like 5-12, and he gets fired, I'm gonna feel bad, but I'm gonna feel really bad because I will come on here and say that he was not given a fair shot. He just wasn't. That's kind of what this is. But this is a disgrace. We know this. The Cowboys won't win until Jerry leaves, um, or somebody else takes over, whatever. They won't win. Uh, as long as Jerry's in charge, they won't win. That's kind of the stand. My stance. That's a lot of people's stance. We know it. It's a disgrace. Let's go to Dallas. Let's go to not Dallas. We just did that. Let's go to the Commanders. Terry McLaurin has requested a trade. Now, unlike Dallas, I believe Terry McLaurin can't. They can get something done. This is a new ownership. This is a new front office. I don't know what they're thinking and their way of doing business. If this was Snyder, Terry McLaurin will already be out the door. But I want to see how this goes. Okay. Washington Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin, frustrated with negotiations on a contract extension, has requested a trade, a source told ESPN's Adam Schefter on Thursday. With the sides far apart, McLaurin held out for the first 4 days of training camp before reporting Sunday. There has been no movement toward a new deal, one source said. McLaurin became a hold-in and was placed on the physically unable to perform list with an apparent ankle injury suffered last season. Though he participated in spring workouts, by reporting, McLaurin could no longer be fined $50,000 per day. After practice each day, McLaurin has appeared on the field and signed autographs for fans, many of whom have chanted his name. One young fan asked him Sunday if he had signed. McLaurin laughed and told him he was funny. McLaurin was signed autographs for nearly 30 minutes and returned to the building. Team sources have said multiple times that the Commanders won't trade McLaurin. It's uncertain what interest he will draw from teams. It'll be a lot of people, knowing they will have to surrender a package that tempts the Commanders and then pay him more than $30 million per year. A striking point has been McLaurin's age. He will be 31 when an extension begins, an age when teams are reluctant to pay for big money for receivers. Last year, two older receivers signed extensions at age 30. Miami's Tyreek Hill signed a 3-year extension for $30 million per year with 52.5 million guaranteed, but he was coming off consecutive seasons gaining at least 1,700 yards. At 31, Tampa Bay's Mike Evans signed a 2-year deal for $41 million with $35 million guaranteed. Evans had caught 46 touchdowns passes over the previous 4 seasons. So let's just get straight into it. He's requested a trade. I do. Terry McLaurin's been very clear. He wants $30 million per year. That has been very clear from the beginning. That's what he wants. If you are the Washington Commanders, I think you have to pay him. The reason I think you have to pay him is because that receiver room. Your championship window, you were in the NFC Championship game. You went and got Debo to pair him with Terry McLaurin. Jaden Daniels is going into his second year. You do not want him dropping off, his play dropping off. He needs people to throw the ball to. And also, you have to think about this from from a guy like Terry McLaurin. The amount of quarterbacks this man has been through, the amount of stuff he's been through with Snyder. He could have requested a trade at any time, but no, he stayed. And now you don't want to pay him? I mean, come on, man. We got to be better, Washington. NFC East, we got to be better. Some teams that I think could use him, that could use Terry McLaurin. There's obviously the Patriots. I mean, there's obviously the Colts. After that, I mean, I think a spot that could be is the Raiders. Uh, the Jets, the Chargers, the Chiefs. There are a lot of teams that I just named to go right there. There are a lot of teams. There's probably more. But just looking at that. I mean the Jets, the Browns, they don't have one. The Niners. So there's a lot of teams that could use his services. And I think somebody, if they in fact do trade for him, I think somebody could I think somebody could use him, obviously. But I'm just looking at the way organizations have handled this off season in terms of holdouts, or not even holdouts, in terms of paying people. Myles Garrett requested a trade, and then the Browns paid him a whole lot of money. Highest non-paid QB in the NFL history. Steelers paid TJ Watt. Raiders, it didn't even get to this point of a contract holdout, all that. It wasn't even a discussion. The Raiders paid Max Crosby. So I'm just looking at the way organizations have handled situations, and I'm thinking to myself, good organizations get things done. Good organizations make good strategic moves. They don't want to deal with all of the other outside noise. They just want to get focused and on the season, because the season is next month. I believe the Thursday night kickoff is September 4th, and the actual game kickoff is in the actual like week one is September 7th. So we're a month out. There's something that's got it's August 1st. Time's ticking. Teams got to make sure they're ready for the season and all that jazz. So if you're asking me, who do I think will get a deal done first, or who's more than likely to get a deal done first, I will say Washington, just because it's $30 million, and their front office has been pretty good and solid the last year since getting it from Snyder, and the ownership with Harris and Magic Johnson. So I will I kind of trust them more at this point in time to do the right thing. With Dallas, nah, I don't trust him. I don't trust Jerry. Even though Jerry has gotten these deals done before, I just don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe they will. I hope Micah gets his money, but I just don't see it, man. Because Jerry, he'll try to drag this along as far as long as he can. And it's not good for team morale, because the whole team looks pissed. Looks pissed. But that is it. Crazy couple weeks. NFL's right around the corner. College football starts this month. Um, I've been your host, Noah Love. Football season is almost here. By the way, Chargers won the Hall of Fame game last night, 34-7. Trey Lance played well. Kyle Allen was terrible. All right. Until next time, see ya.